What up, guys? It's me back from my long break. Well, not that long, but I took a week off. Okay, that's what I did. I took a week off, but like I needed to take one. More like I really had nothing I really wanted to talk about since then. It's like the computer's right here, and I'm like, don't feel like it. Don't feel like it. Not me being lazy, just me being tired. A little bit of both, I guess. Well, anyways, I'm back. I'm probably talking about my must watch. The last must watch I'll probably have for this ending of summer 2023. And this one is probably I look forward to the most back in the day because I remember reading the manga always since my graduation. I remember it was graduation. We were all waiting in line for things to start because the graduation was delayed because of a storm. So I always have my phone out, use those old original manga apps you just get on your phone, not the ones now where you all have to pay and get ads now, but the ones where you can actually comment, do Demaku comments and stuff back in the day. And I was reading this one, and it's called Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beast. This one I started reading since 2013, I believe. Starting 2013, I started reading it. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. And this is before I knew about the Ancient Monk's Bride. Part two of season two is coming out. The season two, by the way, of that. And it's pretty much about a girl named Sophie who is supposed to be a sacrifice to the Beast Kingdom in order to appease a treaty between the human kingdom. And she knows no love, pretty much. Everyone around her didn't really love her. The parents that took her in only kept her so their own child won't be sent as a sacrifice. So they hold no serious attachments towards her. So when she was thought to be sacrificed, no one would miss or love her. She went to the Beast King himself, who had no name. But she later calls him Leo, just because it's a lot easier for that. Everyone else just calls him Your Majesty, how it is. So this is the typical Cinderella or the Beauty and the Beast, whether one you may call it, kind of story. Where the girl, Beauty and the Beast, pretty much what it is. A girl who gets set off, who falls in love with a beast, and they go through their trials, whether those trials may be by the author. So, on the day of the sacrifice ritual, she discovers a huge secret of the Beast King and causes him to be very insecure of himself, thinking he's not a true worthy ruler for his people, until she shows him otherwise, telling him that there's more to him than meets the eye, and he's had more confidence in himself. He was smitten by her charms and decided to take her in as his queen. And of course, all the Animal Kingdom people hate this. Having a disgusting human as a queen. Like, come on, what's wrong with you, man? So now, Sophie herself must prove herself by entering trials and passing tests in order to get the approval of the people so she can live her life with the one she now loves. So it's like that, pretty much. The story itself, it has some twists and turns, but nothing truly major to get you all like, wow, I came out of left field. But no, it makes sense. It keeps itself grounded. The characters themselves are very frequent. Don't show too many characters. Sophie herself is a very kind of person. The typical, Belle trope where they're too kind for their own good and they're trusting of everybody and everything and likes to see the good out of everybody. And sometimes when you try to do that mostly, it does bring out the good in people. Especially when that person themselves been around nothing but bad and been ridiculed themselves. She picks up a bunch of friends who goes through their own way of being exiled and isolated, whether it's with their own family, their own kind, whether it may be. She seems to find these kind of people and finds ways to befriend them. And she goes through all kinds of trials, mainly for the king's top right-hand man, the advisor Anubis. Now this dude, you may see him as of a douche, but to be honest with you, he's very reasonable. He's the guy who puts the king in the kingdom above all, even himself. So he's not that typical, oh, I will take over and rule. He really doesn't believe that this girl belongs here and should be here. He believes he will corrupt the way the king should think. in a way, for the sake of the kingdom. So he's the one who's been pushing these trials for her, but she's not denying these trials because she believes she can't just come in and say, okay, I'm your queen now, respect me. She believes she has to create this form of a bridge to build this respect on, instead of just forcing it upon these people, which she does. As time goes on, the people seem to warm up to her. She understands more of the lore and the creation of the kingdoms, and we also ourselves reveal shocking reveals of how the kings are made and born, and the other corruptions that are happening around. You do feel sorry for some of the antagonists, because in the end of the day, not everyone is born a villain. People have the reasons of doing their wrongdoings, whether to them it's right or to us it's wrong, or vice versa. Either way, I do like that and everything. How everything isn't going by peacefully, and some people she can't save. There are people who do die in this show. Unfortunately, no one truly major, but people that are part of arcs. So I do like that, and I actually enjoyed this more than I did Magician's Bride, because in a way of Magician's Bride or Ancient Manga's Bride, it has more of a clear focus. When it comes to Ancient Manga's Bride, it's just her just having these adventures and these crazy events happening with her husband in a way, and it kind of loses focus from time to time. Some arcs you just don't care about. But with this one, it's very narrow-minded and focused, which is not in a bad way. It doesn't try to do anything off the wall, jumping the shark at the same time, so the story is very, basic, but in a good way. That good kind of basic. It has a story to tell, it tells it well, and then when the story ends, that's it. However, in the manga, there is a sequel spin-off, which I've been trying to find someone to translate it, but no one has yet to. So unfortunately, this anime was shot right under the radar because it had a late, and I mean late release coming out, and no one talked about it. No one pushed for this anime. Not Anime Training, not Anime Corner. Nobody. I don't think no one picked this anime up, but it is being dubbed. So Crunchyroll is dubbing this anime. But even they are not advertising this anime, which really sucks, because I've never thought this anime, which was completed by the way years ago, to animate. And I've always enjoyed when you have those anime that are based off of stories that are completed, so that way you can have a fully functioning story that's being told, and you don't feel like you're being half cut when you get to the end of the season, don't have another season, and you have to go read the books. However, the books aren't on sale or they're not even translated. This stuff does happen every now and then. For instance, an anime I'm looking forward to is Sengoku Yoko. One of my top 10s right there. It's being animated by Studio White Fox. It's going to have a 4-core, and I think I already did a video on it. However, it's really hard to get the books. It really is. So the only way to read it is through piracy, unfortunately. So that does suck about that. But I really do wish that more anime studios will pick up books that are already completed and just finish them off. That would be really nice to see. And I wish more of them would do it. The downside is that most of these studios don't give the quality that some of these books deserve, as in good animation or just good drawings and art styles at all sometimes. Look at Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer. They told the story well when it comes to anime, but the animation was very off, even for non-action scenes. Like, they couldn't even do the bare minimum, to be honest with you. But I still enjoy it nonetheless, because I'm there more for the characters than anything else for that kind of story. But that's just my strife. So yes, I do recommend you watch it. If you're the fan of the Beauty and the Beast trope, I highly recommend The Sacrificial Princess, because it's nice. It's a nice watch. I'm not saying it's the great thing. It's nice. A nice little watch to have. You're waiting for something else big to happen. Like, if you don't know what to watch and you're into romances and you can't think of anything to watch at the time, watch this. It's okay. It's good. The dubbing's out if you want to watch the dub. It only has 2 episodes left on the dub, so you can do that as well. So, and the book's complete. You can read it. So, I hope you enjoy. So anyway, it's like that video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been the Madcrownxox Anime. Signing out.